Jaeger bomb. At what? On a Sunday?
What are we calling this? Is this a podcast?
Red. Clash.
Good morning, everyone. This is Reddit Talks Clash. We are two of the mods, me and Liam here. I'm Rick, and we're just going to do a nice little casual episode of Reddit Talks Clash today. So, Liam, people may not know, but you claim to be an American a lot of times.
So, for clarification, I don't claim to be an American. I am an American.
All right, well,
for some reason, Rick does not want me to be part of that, though. But it's okay. I'm sure it's some insecurity he has that he's working through. We'll get there eventually.
So, as a diehard red-blooded American, how into wrestling were you as a youngin'?
Into... So, repeat that last part?
Yeah, see, you don't even understand the question, man. You can't be American.
Nah,
Like how into wrestling? Like every young American boy, I think has a phase where they are into wrestling. So when was yours?
I think I was just too old for that age because I definitely know like that was a thing for people, but it happened when I was like in university or in late high school stages, and so I feel like I missed that period. So I never really got into it. I mean, I guess when I was a fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I was like, oh, what's this thing he does on the side, like WWE? Oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, I never really got the concept of just having it. Like, it's all staged, right? So I mean, it's fun. It's a whole thing, a whole career and all, but I never really kind of fully dove right into the fan zoning part about it. So it's always been like on the outskirts.
I gotta say, man, that's a check mark in the European column for you.
But because are you telling me so every American is into wrestling then? Is that because that's definitely not true either.
Every American is into broad generalizations and wrestling.
Okay, so that means you're a WWE fan, right, Vic? Because you're a true American.
I had a stage in my life where I watched a lot of wrestling. I was never really into WWE. Like I got into wrestling during what I assume was peak wrestling in like the late 90s when there was back when it was the WWF before it became WWE, and then they were also competing with the WCW. So I was always a WCW guy, and it was like also peak WCW in like late 90s, early 2000s, like back when I'm not gonna rattle off a bunch of names that you're not gonna know, but yeah, there was a couple years, man, where I was like, I was Monday nights were at home watching wrestling.
And this was how long ago? Like, what year was this again?
Yeah, like late 90s, so 25 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Give or take.
Okay, so I missed that period. I wasn't even born then yet, so that explains that. It's not that I'm not American, it's just I didn't exist. So,
if you want to claim to be an American, you are also going to have to be responsible for things that happened before you were born and deal with the consequences later.
Absolutely. But so basically, if I pretend to be a fan of WWE, then does that make me American or not?
Pretending to be a fan of stuff is another check in the American column, so going in the right direction.
Perfect. Yeah. So I mean, I guess to recap, I guess I'm not familiar with wrestling, but I knew about it, and I really like the integration, like the videos they release on Twitter about it, like and just the whole kind of concept of trying to integrate more with like popular. Can you call it a sport? I guess you can. Yeah. I like it. It's cool.
There are versions of wrestling that is a sport. This collaboration is not one of them. Certainly athletic, entertainment. But yeah, I don't know. So when you first heard the WWE collaboration was going on, did that do anything for you?
Let's say I wasn't excited about the WWE specifically, but I was like, ooh, this is interesting. I wonder they'll go with this. Like, in terms of like what new troops will be getting or how they'll try to kind of bring the Clash of Us more in line with WWE in the real world. I mean, especially because they said that trying to like that was the main reason for removing the flags was because they wanted to separate from the real world, and now they're trying to bring it back into the real world. So I thought it was interesting.
Like with the flags thing, I don't know that like I don't think they're like we're having board meetings like these flags make this game too realistic. We got to get them out of here. It was just like a throwaway line.
It's the reasoning, like that they use that as an argument, but then they're not consistent with that argumentation. That's what bothers me.
So WWE is definitely a step towards, fake and made up imagination land stuff compared to Howland. So,
Yeah,
hey, more
fair
steps in
enough.
the right direction. I don't like the whole like I'm glad to see Clash doing another collaboration, another big one. So that's cool. I was excited for that. I couldn't tell you a thing about like wrestling or most of the people in here. Like Undertaker and Kane were big 25 years ago when I watched wrestling, so I'm familiar with them. Cody Rhodes, I had to look it up. I know his older brother was a wrestler, Goldust, who used to be somewhat popular back when I was a kid. And you weren't allowed to like Goldust because I grew up in Texas in the 90s. So, yeah, like he was around. I thought it was his dad because it was so long ago, but apparently it's his half older brother, Cody Rhodes, the guy who's got the skin now.
Yeah, I like his personality. He has a good personality.
I dig the scenery. I dig the skins. I dig the fact Clash is going to be put out on, like to another new giant audience. I don't know. I think it'll be good. The timing of us doing this is bad because I don't think we can talk about the metal event just yet, but it's going to be a good one. We can talk about the Yeeter. Have you played with the Yeeter at all?
I have to be honest, I have not used him yet. I saw him in a couple of videos, and I mean that's the thing for me. Like with temporary troops, I don't feel like I want to use them because I don't want to get used to them and then like just go back to my regular army. So I'll just stay with what I know, and if it's temporary, then it kind of disincentives them to use it. But I like the concept. Like it, I used it I think on one of my lower accounts, and I was like, oh, it's like having just the multiple spawning thing and just. Yeah, I mean, the name itself is kind of funny as well, the Yeeter. So what I found really cool actually was that it came out on April 1st, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they pulled it back and everyone was like, "Oh, it's an April Fool's joke and all." And then I was like, "Nah, I don't think so. They wouldn't invest that much into just one day." But yeah, no, I like it. What about you, Vic?
I've been using it every attack for the last couple days, and man, it's strong. It's probably too strong.
Like spamming or just a
No,
few
no, no.
troops?
I'm doing fireball and then like a Yeeter attack. So it fits in really well with a lot of that style attack. They're huge, but man, they never die, and it's just fun doing fireballs again. I've really missed doing fireball attacks because super witches haven't been the strongest in Town Hall 17. But yeah, like there are spammier versions of it, and it's available like in real low town halls. So even for 45 housing space, it's strong, even far lower. I haven't touched it yet, but I probably will once the metal event starts.
But it's not totally overpowered that everyone's like complaining about it. Like, oh, you need to nerf this.
It's not like drop in the corner in triple.
Okay, so it's not like Lava Luna essentially.
Yeah, but like you can toss a couple behind some root riders and get it pretty pretty spammy. And I don't know, like there's a version of them that everyone's going to be able to use, I think.
All right.
Do you care that they released it during CWL?
No, actually, I'm not one of those people who has a very strong opinion about that. I mean, I hear a lot about it that people don't like that they're releasing it during Super. And for a second, I thought that they kind of learned their lesson from that, where they were like, "Oh yeah, let's not do that again" and all. But seems like they just did it again, I guess. But I suppose I probably should be using it instead of y'all to take more advantage of it. But no, I don't care that much that they released it doing so well.
I'm not a fan, but I'm not gonna fixate on it. It kind of it is what it is.
Because it throws off the entire Sigil for you, right?
Yeah, it was only in the game for a couple hours on the first, and then it was causing crashes, so they pulled it out. They put it back on the third or fourth, so we would have had it from the at least the second war.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know, like I would prefer that CWL stays separate from like the OP event troops, but clearly the collaboration took precedence this month, so it is what it is. I'm just gonna triple with it, and that's what it is. I'm really surprised I'm not seeing more of it in my defense log, to be honest, like Legends or War, because it is really strong. But so is everything else too. So there might just be less motivation to switch.
Yeah. Well, would you be okay if they like released I mean, I suppose if they release it, but you just can't use it inside of CWO, then would that be okay with you? And then it doesn't cause issues, right?
Yeah, that would be my preference. Just I'm a Max Town Hall 17, and we actually have fair CWO matches. I know that's not the norm across the whole player population who, are going to be full of Town Hall 9s who get matched. Their mirror is a Town Hall 16 in some clans, like a Rush dead one, but it's maybe it's good for everyone, even if it messes up the ideal competition in champs leagues. So it's not worth getting upset about, really.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on to, I guess, cosmetics, I guess.
I think they're fine. The wrestling ring, I think, makes sense. With the design of the Clash map, it's cool. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm buying any of these. I am kind of tempted to get the Undertaker Warden one. I don't think it's called the Undertaker Warden, but it's clearly modeled after him. And that guy's got to be like 75.
Wait,
Like
75 what?
the Undertaker was old when I was a kid. Like I'm just wondering how old he is. How old is the
Oh,
Undertaker? He is 60 right now, so he's not as old as I thought.
that still makes sense on the Woden, I guess.
Yeah.
But other than cosmetics, I mean, there's the arena, the scenery, and the hero skins, right? It's not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's like the little box of money that's spawning. Is
Hmm.
cool, I guess. I've never been a big decoration guy.
Yeah, me neither. I was with all of them.
But the other troop I wanted to talk about that was in the game for a very short amount of time was the Super Yeti. Did you play with the Super Yeti when that was in?
I didn't actually.
Oh man, you
I
missed
did
out.
donate it to a couple of my clanmates, but yeah, I mean, if you can only have it at USCC, it didn't seem worth playing around with.
It was in the game for a couple days, two, three, four.
Mm.
I didn't use it too much. I knew, I knew it was in like a state that wasn't game ready at that point. So, like you were saying, I try and keep realistic attacks going for the most part. I know I threw that all away for the Yeeter, but it was cool. One of the other things that I liked about it too is that was when I noticed something that wasn't included in the patch notes is you can delete CC requests now.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. Like, I saw the trash, but I was like, wait, what does that actually do? Like,
People were really wanting to drop clones on it because the size of it for certain town halls made it
Mhm.
too big to clone, and you would only clone the Yetimites. So people were requesting it and wanting no fill, which is like always annoys me having open CC requests, even when people
Same
don't
here.
want the other stuff. Like it bugs me. Like I'm
I'm a
you'll
perfectionist as
never
well.
catch me with more than one notification on my phone because like I open it and I
Yeah.
clear it compulsively. So
We're the same person, Vic.
yeah, dude, I mean, like the people who have 45,000 unread emails, I don't know how you make it
Dude,
through life.
my parents are like that, and I just it bugs me every time. Like I literally every new email I get, I immediately like take care of it, move it in a folder or delete it or something. Like it's yeah, I don't know how people can have space for that in their head.
Yeah, like obviously that thing is broken in a lot of weird ways. Wasn't ready for the game, and so that did give rise to a lot of like conspiracy theories.
Yeah, but why wasn't, I mean, it wasn't ready just because it was too powerful. Like everything else worked, right? It was just
I mean, like it functioned, but it was like obviously putting one of those in a CC shouldn't delete the entire like 50% of the base from the inside like it was doing. Yeah, it was just too like far too strong. And I think a lot of that was just with how strong the electromites, I think they were called, with how strong the electromites were. With the Super Yeti, people were immediately went into conspiracy mode, saying, "Hey, it was not an they were saying it was not an accident. It was." Like I don't think anyone in a professional setting wants something like that to happen, where players are
definitely
exposed to something in that state. Yeah, it was an accident, but people were saying, "Hey,
definitely.
this is because you could only get it with one gem donations or well gem donations, not one gem, but you could so people were saying this is Supercell just trying to suck gems out of the economy, trying to rip everyone off."
And then for me, the thing is like it's so easy. Isn't that like Malcolm's razor or something where like don't attribute to matters some what can be adequately explained by stupidity or something? And for me, it just I mean, so in terms of tech, this just seems like the classic. It was a mistake, but it wasn't. It definitely was not intentional. I mean, yeah, sure, you can go down to conspiracy theories and say, oh, it's a playtest thing, or they wanted to steal gems, but I think realistically, that's just not. It does not make a lot of sense, and it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like the supercell I know.
No, like it doesn't make sense for like a sneaky playtest either.
Yeah, like the risk of doing that far outweigh the benefits.
But yeah, I just like the whole update was funny and bugged, like because of course all that stuff happened, like of course there was hilarious and awesome bugs because there always are, especially when like you push out updates probably too fast. I assume they moved this one up just to get everything ready for the WWE collaboration in April instead of a mid-April month during it.
Yeah, that could have led to it. The cloning Yetimite strategy. I mean, you tried that, right? And that took out the entire base easily every time. Because it seemed to me like it only took out half the base.
Yeah, well, I mean, from your CC and your spells taking out half the base is insane. Like, that's, game over. So, right after that, or in conjunction with, I forget, the troop space of the Yetimites were also changed from they were 3 and then they got changed to 1 in that update for balance reasons. With the Super Yeti, that was really cool because you could clone a ton of extra Yetimites, and it also led people once the Super Yeti was removed. It also got people experimenting with just straight chaining clones of Yetimites into the core of a base, which is again it's massive right now. It's all over YouTube. Like Hooked and Chalk started talking about it, making videos. Itu dropped a video on it the other day. I see it a lot. I see clanmates doing it. Magic Jr. was onto it really earlier. Clash King, he's the one who keyed me into it, and it's fun. You just drop a Yeti and then put a clone near defense on the inside because the Yeti mites target defense, and then you get the Yeti mites cloned, and then you just drop 3 more clones, daisy chain them into the core, and you basically carve out a huge chunk of the base, get the town hall, the whole core out, and then it doesn't matter what you drop behind it; they'll just loop around the rest of the U of the base, and game over. So, like that's gonna have to change.
Yeah, I wonder how they'll. I mean, will they just decrease the number of Yeti when they do actually release the Super Yeti to fix that?
Yeah,
Interestingly
I don't
enough,
know. Like I don't know what specifically was OP in the Super Yeti, and I don't know what they're gonna change with it. The Yetis themselves, I don't think you can drop the number of Yeti mites because that's just gonna hurt Yetis overall. They're probably just gonna have to readjust that housing space, I would assume. Or maybe there's something else in the works more creative for it. The clone spell now is like 42 troop space, I think. So you can catch a 1 housing space Yeti mite in 4 clones. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of a base. Because you get 42
yeah.
out of each one 4 times.
I'd be interested to see like the usage rates of cloning spells. I feel like they've gone up a lot since the Super Yeti.
Like this is one of those big disconnect moments too, or because like it's all over YouTube. People are talking about it on Reddit and in Discord. It's a known strat in the communities that I frequent. Almost no one is using it against me. Like not like I'm just like the Yeeters. I'm not seeing them in my defense log. I'm not seeing clone Yetis in my Legends defenses or in my CBL defenses either. It's I don't know, there's a lot of people out there who just don't stay up to date, I guess.
But is it really that they're not up to date, or is it that I mean, what could be the reasons you're not seeing? Is it just people like that? Just means the average clasher isn't interested in changing up the strategies, right?
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be part of it too. I just assume a big part of it is just like, do I want to learn a new attack right now when my attack right now is working for me?
Why change when you know it works?
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of change, actually, how's the instant training changed how we play for you at least?
I'm more curious how it's changed for you, since I know your playstyle's wild and foreign to me. Like for me, I'm in Legends, so like I'm not attacking more because I can't.
So it hasn't changed anything for you then,
It
right?
it's changed like when I do my attacks. I used to have to space them out. I would do like two at reset before I went to bed, and then two in the morning, and two around lunch, and then two in the evening or in the afternoon, wherever I could. It was whenever throughout the day, doing two at a time. And now that I have 2 minute CC requests and instant trained armies, there's a lot of times I'll do four, five, six just at a time in a row, and as long as I'm doing well, like I'm tripling, I'll just let it ride, and then if I
Mm.
fail, I'm like, all right, I'll take a break and come back to it later, and yeah, but I'm definitely having longer play sessions. I'm more likely, like I found myself doing more friendly challenges because of the change with how FC offensive CCs work. You don't have to request new troops. You can just use the saved the saved CC in friendly challenges, and that has me experimenting more with different CCs and trying different armies more often too. So, huge win on all this stuff for me.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted as well, right? They wanted people experimenting more with different armies, so it's a
Yeah,
success for Legend players as well.
it worked, and it's got me like, man, I should go turn screen time back on my phone, just because I used to like I turned it off and just to hide that number from me. But now, like I'm curious, like how much time I'm spending in Clash really throughout the day, and it's just to compare to what I was doing before.
Yeah, I've never found screen time accurate actually, but yeah, I turned it on
Yeah.
recently as well.
Has instant training changed anything for you and your 3,000 accounts?
So it's mostly changed for my main. So my main was always about just getting to the max town hall as a free-to-play player, which was always kind of hard. But it's definitely changed a lot because most of my time was really just spent like waiting for sneaky goblins to train, and so you do an attack and then keep working on work. But now actually I can just do them, and like it's changed a lot how quickly I can get resources. I mean, obviously, right? Like it's just I'm not even bothered about resources ever. Like I just like filling all the CC troops in City well is like lose a lot of a day elixir, but like it just eliminated the whole resource consideration factor from my planning. And I love it honestly. It's great as well because with the trophy change now, when I only get 1 stars with sneaky goblins to get the bonus from fake legends, and so actually that means I can do like 6, 7 attacks when I'm at 4,992, and then I'm full on resources, and then I go to 5,000 just to wait until someone attacks me. But it's changed in terms, yeah, I think it's getting me to play more consecutive, and then just have longer periods of time where I'm just waiting for builders to finish. But I definitely think it's an improvement because, who likes waiting, right?
Are you playing more accounts daily now?
No, not at all, actually. That hasn't changed at all. That was my main focus, has always been my main, and the others, they're kind of just there to help support in terms of crown games and crown raids and donations. But now, yeah, it hasn't changed how I play on the others. Especially, I'm still upset about this. The where you have to wait, like if you force quit, you still have to wait for that. Like that just bothers me. And so what I
But
do is on my other accounts, I just do one attack, force quit, and then call it a day.
yeah,
But
but I know, but you got a little bit of a stay of execution there on at least for Capital. You can force quit and play again immediately.
I saw that because at first they like it didn't let you, and then they removed it. I was like, oh my God, let's go! Like I was so happy about that. I was just smiling all day. So I'm glad it's Capital, but I don't want it to be in Builder Base either.
Ninja's here, so correct me if I'm wrong, man. The way that was explained to us was like it was the error that it was giving you was weird. Like when you force quit the home village
Yeah.
or builder base, it says like, hey, attacking is disabled until your troops are done, whatever the message says, and there's a timer. But in the capital, right after release, that first raid weekend where we had it, it just was like the red text like, hey, you can't do that right now. And so they were unhappy with the way that Error was presenting, so they kind of took it out of the game for Clan Capital, and it's been a couple weeks now. So I don't know if it's coming back. I don't know if they're just like not pressed to put it back in the game. That was a big source of complaints, at least. I'm kind of hoping it stays out.
Agreed. Definitely don't want that coming back.
So yeah, I know like all the time the last couple weekends I've been like, I want to get all this done now, just in case like there's maintenance and it comes back. It's like I would hate to be thinking I can do it all Sunday night and then oh whoops, never mind. I don't want to get caught, stalling. A minute ago you brought up fake legends, so I do want to talk about trophies, because again, this is something that has not affected me. Even on my alts that are not in legends, I never pay attention to trophies. I'm not even really actively farming them right now. Has staying in fake legends changed for you? Is it more difficult? Is it easier? I want to know what the loot is like there too.
I've always been a big proponent that the best loot is in Fake Legends because you get the, I mean, it's the highest, league, so you get the most resources, but also you get unlimited attacks. So like you get the best of both worlds, and I've still found that to be true. I mean, the only thing I've noticed that's different now is that it's actually harder to drop trophies. So like when I'm stuck at 5,006 trophies, and I tried all my revenge buttons, they all have a shield or something. So I'm kind of stuck and I want to farm, but I can't. And so what I did was I just created a really easy base. I tried to set it, and there's this weird bug that bothers me as well that I'll talk about later. But essentially, I just noticed that now it's harder to drop trophies once you're in fake legends above 5,000, because people just attack you, they take the loot, and they don't want, like, they just give you trophies, and so you're kind of stuck there in a perpetual loop. But other than that, I haven't noticed a difference.
Yeah, like the overall trophy changes. It seems like it makes it harder to both climb and drop too. Like from what I'm seeing, it looks like 1 stars are generally just 1 trophy. 2 stars are like in that 4 to 7 range, and then that's also where like a 0 star loss. That's what you're gonna get too. So if you attack someone, quit, don't do anything, you're only gonna lose like 7, 8ish as well, is the way it looks. Dropping used to be you could lose 20, 30 at a time. Dropping was super fast, but apparently that's now not the case.
Yeah, I did notice that the max number of trophies I can get, it used to be 31 and now it's 21, like even if you triple. So it's definitely harder to climb when you're trying to do big gaps, but I don't find it an issue, as I always tend to stay between 4,080 and 4,980 and 5,000.
The previous max trophy gain or loss was like 59, and now that's 44, but that's also going to be like the extreme like revenge kind of attack scenarios where you're getting that big of swings. I have seen a lot of complaints about people, more specifically from like lower town halls, who are trying to be high up in Titans and fake legends. And I don't know, like, should that even be a thing?
Did they change the matchmaking algorithm for that, or why?
It seems so, because a lot of people are saying, hey, I'm not, before the update, Town Hall 12s would be finding a lot more Town Hall 12s even that high up, and now they're saying, hey, I'm only seeing Town Hall 16s and 17s, and it's hard getting 1 star even, and then that 1 star only being worth 1 trophy it's making it difficult to stay up there. Do we care?
I have a controversial take on this. I think I actually like it, because I feel like those people are playing the game in a way that's not intended to play, and so if you're making that harder, then I think that's fair enough. Like if you're trying to play the game the way that it's not intended, and I'm realizing the irony, because that's kind of what I do as well sometimes. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, if as a low town hall level, you really don't have any business in up in 4,000 plus or up in high legends. Yeah. So I feel like, I mean, if they're making it harder, it makes it more of an achievement. So maybe more people are gonna be proud of that, and that's fine. But yeah, that's my take on it. What about you, Vic?
I think it's fine for the game to be designed in a way where higher leagues are for higher town halls. I understand why people are upset if they were a lower town hall in a higher league because they want the ore. So I think I said it before.
Mm.
Like I don't think there's a trophy problem. There is an ore problem. So if you
Yeah.
look at like why are these town halls wanting to be so high? It's because they want the ore. It's because there's not a great flow of ore, especially through those like middle range town halls. It's hard to upgrade all your equipment at the pace it's coming out. So like I think it's fine to say, hey, if you're Town Hall 12, you shouldn't be in Titans. You should probably be down in Masters, and to engineer the game in a way to really force that. But then you need to relook at the amount of ore that's available down in those leagues for those town halls too. And I hope that
Yeah.
happens.
Speaking of ore, actually, it just made me wonder, like, is the fact that obtaining ore is rather difficult or not, like there's a shortage of ore, is that intentional or is that an accident? Like, surely they want to get people to buy it, so.
Equipment and ore in this whole system was like explicitly explained as like, hey, we're hoping this helps replace the monetization from hero books, and obviously that was never going to happen. But I think it is designed in a way to push the sale of event passes, and at the end of every month, there's almost always just straight ore in the shop as well. So I think it's designed as like equipment's fun. It's fun gameplay. I think it's mainly like the cynical side of me is saying like equipment is a new moneymaker first.
Fair enough.
Where are we at now? Let's go.
Donation costs?
Yeah. Okay. So I know Magic asked about this too, but since we already had it on here, I was a lot more opposed to the amount that troops are costing. I think I've kind of mellowed on it since then, having experienced it and seen how much people are requesting in my clan. I still think it's probably a little too much dark, but I don't know. Like I'm already like not considering costs. Like I don't go and fill a whole war CC by myself, but I also don't need to anymore. So I know like
Yeah.
what about you? How do you feel about the donation costs right now?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was one of my big oppositions of like whenever whenever people like, yeah, can you fill up all the war CCs? Like, I'd never liked doing it because it always meant I had to spit like training all the troops, wait for them to finish training and all that. But now that it's instant, I actually don't mind it, and the cost is negligible, I find. I mean, especially because you have instant training, so you can easily make it up in a couple of attacks, if you're active.
The real nice thing though is originally the intention was that super troops you don't have unlocked would need to be like unlocked to donate with resources, or that's when you're gonna have to use gems to donate them. And they real quick they just said here's all the super troops,
I love that.
and I love it. Like
That is the best change ever.
I might never one gem donate anything again for the first time like ever. Maybe a couple days ago I used up all my elixir just donating, and then I had like I did have to use one gem for certain things for a little bit of time until I could get more attacks in the next day. So
Hmm.
it's still nice to have as an option, but like I'm far less reliant on it, which is great.
Yeah, I wonder if they're aware of that. Like, is that a lot of unintended consequences or?
The overall, I do think dark is too expensive, but I don't know. It's whatever.
And
Like,
well, what's the math behind it? Like, do we know or?
oh, I meant to look this up, but it's tied. I don't know the exact amount, but it's tied to like the raid medal cost. Essentially, is like raid medals are X medal per troop space, and then now it's like X amount of resource per raid medal. And I don't know what those exact numbers are. It's probably pretty easy to go
Mhm.
find, but yeah, like
Okay.
that's what it is. I will
Yeah.
say I do think the costs need to scale with the troop level being donated. I'm fine with what they are for me as a Town Hall 17. If you're a Town Hall 9 who's trying to donate something that's not even going to benefit from the much higher levels, having that be the same cost is wrong. When the idea of scaling was brought up before this was released, the answer was like, well, lower town halls get fewer troops and they're going to be donating to each other, so like that's the built-in scaling is just smaller CCs. I don't think that's good enough. So like hopefully in the future at some point they can look at scaling it like by troop level, at least in some way. But
Yeah, no, I agree. I think,
all of
I
this
mean,
though, I know like when we talked about it with Ninja and when we've talked about it just between ourselves, the idea of like it's worse for Legends. Like I'm in Legends and it's not bad. I'll tell you that right now, but it has got me thinking about like, hey, like the extra attacks are gonna come to Legends at some point in the future. They've told us. Like, how is that gonna actually look though? Because like we don't know if you just get straight up unlimited attacks at the end of your Legends day, like you do your 8, or I don't know. Like we don't know how it's gonna look, but
it
like
can't be unlimited because then there would be no difference between Legend League
it
and
can't.
multiplayer, right? That is just whoever plays the longest.
The intention of that wouldn't be like they're all for trophies. There's gonna be like your attacks that are like your Legends tournament attacks, and those are still gonna be limited in some way. And then you can do additional attacks that would probably just be for like loot only, so it wouldn't destroy the Legends tournament system. But like also,
Mm.
that feels really powerful to just be able to do unlimited loot attacks in Legends because you're never losing loot ever. In low release, the trade off is you're going to get attacked, you're gonna lose loot. I don't know how you do that in Legends. It would just be all upside. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to not lose loot? Like, so I was trying to think
I
of
guess,
what it could really look like, and I don't know. What do you think?
yeah, I mean, Hawkeye, I'm going to steal Hawkeye's idea just because he's not speaking, but he just suggested that you could do essentially the first 8 ones are for trophies, and then after that, it's all loot. And that way, there's no more. I
But
mean, it
yeah,
doesn't
like
break the whole trophy system, but
how's that going to work for loot though? Is it going to be like the standard amount of Legends loot against people's Legend bases? There's a lot of weird things that could crop up from there. Like the downside of Legends right now is like it's harder to get enough Dark Elixir going, especially if you have like we just got 2 new pets to upgrade. Well, 1 new pet and 1 with new levels. A whole bunch of Dark troops. People that are just turning Town Hall 17 now. Like it's a Dark Elixir heavy Town Hall. So being in Legends, that's hard to keep up with. But then if you are in Legends with unlimited loot attacks, I'm just gonna put on. I'm gonna put on like the spiky ball on my king, or an earthquake boots, giant arrow, like fireball, all the damage equipment. Do some sneaky gobs, and I'm gonna get 7,000 dark elixir every 30 seconds. I'm always going to be full on dark. Like then, and I'm never going to lose any of that. That's I don't know. Like I guess I wouldn't complain. Free loot forever. That might make it a little less fun in some way, but I get the feeling they're going to have to introduce some kind of like mechanic to limit it in Legends. Like, and it won't just be free unlimited loot forever.
yeah. And I mean, you said Town Hall 17 was a pretty Elixir intensive Town Hall, but
yeah,
I mean, is that comparatively to others? Because I mean, Hawkeye's saying apparently Town Hall 15 needs more, but I think it's because it's been so long that we haven't had to use lots of .D that it feels like a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
But in reality, if you look at the total cost, it might not be that much.
Like I could just be like a little biased too, because like this update specifically was like almost all Dark Elixir. It feels like it was, it was 2 pets and new Dark Troop, all the new troops in the lab except for it was like Yeti was Elixir, and everything else is Dark. Like all the troops, the spells, everything, Monolith supercharges, Monolith level and Monolith supercharges. And it's a DE heavy update at least, and whether or not 15 requires more total, which is possible. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. For me, it felt kind of the opposite, because in my lab I had like 3 or 4 troops that did D, and maybe it's because I had other troops that still weren't maxed for Town Hall 17 before the update. But yeah, I don't find D to be a big blocker for me. But that's also because I'm upgrading one hero at a time mostly.
All right, let's knock out the questions we got, and then we can wrap it up. Hawk here says, "What do you think about the 4-time star bonus being cut a day short?"
I answered in chat already. For me, I'm not too upset about it. Mistakes happen, bad communication, bad planning. I feel like the Clash community though was more upset about it because they were like, "Oh, like you lied to us. How dare you?" and all that. But I feel like, hey, we're all just human at the end of the day, so have a bit of compassion, I guess.
It's kind of a goofy mistake that probably shouldn't have happened. I'm not upset about it. I just the other day finished my last piece of equipment, so I'm totally maxed on all equipment for the first time ever.
Oh, wow.
So that's
Congrats.
cool. So I'm not hurting for ore, so I wasn't really like it didn't really affect me. Like all that 4-time star bonus in Legends just essentially got wasted. So I have the luxury of not caring. But yeah, I know. I think it would have been like the cool thing to do would have just been like, hey, we got the calendar wrong. It's actually not starting today. It's going to start tomorrow or whichever it was. Just extend it a day on the back end.
Yeah.
Just be cool. Like get the easy wins. Like, what are you guys doing? You like, obviously people are upset. You like whether or not you intended to only have it be 2 days or 3 days. And like, hey, there was a miscommunication. You have to correct it. Just be cool while you do that. That's not a complicated thing. Just, hey, like we goofed. Sorry. We'll add a day onto the end of it later. Or like, hey, like, yeah, just add that to the end of the track of the gold pass. Like it's easy to do. Like,
Yeah.
hey, here's compensation. Here's a day worth of glowy and shiny in the pass. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be nice.
An amazing piece of advice I've heard repeated a lot lately is like, make sure you're doing the easy stuff right.
Exactly. The simple things.
Don't screw up the simple stuff.
At least they did like communicate about it on Twitter, which that's all that I'm happy about. Like, is like they owned up to it. They're like, hey, we made a mistake, blah blah blah, And sure, compensation would have been even the cherry on top, I guess. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the small things they can easily win the public's favor. I mean, like no one's gonna complain about that, right?
All right. Then next question, Full Path says, excited about the new clan event. I don't know what's public about that right now.
What do you mean new clan event? I haven't heard anything about it, unless they mean the medal event. But new clan
I don't know.
event?
So yeah, like the medal event, I'm excited about. I think everything coming this month, I think is cool.
Well, especially because you know what's coming this month.
Yeah, is it all the best thing to ever happen? No, I think it's not bad. And of course, people will find ways to complain about it and find ways it could be better. But yeah, hey, yo, Hawk, drop me a link, dude, and then let me go confirm. I don't want to like, are you tricking me into getting kicked out?
I'm like, it's in the blog post now, but I didn't read or see any new blog post notes. So
I figure the rest of the stuff for the rest of the month we'll just talk about on the next episode too. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm not too pressed about finding out right this second.
Fair enough. Next question from Magic Jr. Rick, why do you feel so strongly that Champs 1 should be played in hard mode?
I don't. This is him trolling. Like I don't know. I'm really. I used to think adding hard mode to certain parts of the game would be good. Like I'm not interested in hard mode at all. Like none of it. All right. Hawkshare thing. Goblin stole the WWE title, take part in a brand new Gold Rush cooperative clan event to collect and contribute gold nuggets to build a new title. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's just
that seems fun.
Collecting gold as a clan is not the most exciting thing. Whatever, like it'll be cool. There's rewards and all. Yeah, cool. It's fine. But yeah, hard mode in Champs, even Champs 1, I know I'm not in favor of it too. There's not a whole lot of 45 wars. Like they don't get the impression that is common because it's not. It is not common. It does happen sometimes. It's not common at all. Like even in the smallest league that Champs 1 is, I don't think it's a problem that needs to be really fixed right now. So it's hard mode is really hard, and yeah, I think having an option to opt into a hard mode, if your clan promotes into Champs 1 and then you want to opt into a hard mode for the next month, I think that would be cool. And I don't know how many clans would do it. I think it's worth like polling to see if there's an interest. But no, like I don't want Legends in hard mode over a certain threshold. I don't want Champs CWL to be in hard mode. I don't want to touch hard mode. I just
Yeah,
don't.
I was just gonna say I don't want hard mode ever becoming like a mandatory part of the game. I like that it's optional for those who want it, but don't force it on us.
Yeah, exactly. Now saying different levels of hard mode, like, what would be cool is if Clash gave people the tools to make those decisions themselves. Like give us some sliders. Set like if you want to spin a friendly war with someone and introduce certain limitations like built into the game, that's awesome. Like if you give people the tools to sandbox it and test out all this different stuff, like the community will find a perfect version of hard mode. Whether that's going to include troop and spell bans, just having sliders for the difficulties, like let people brute force it and figure it out for you. Like they'll be capable of doing that. And just having the sandbox is always fun.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that the best way to test things is really just letting it go live and have people mess with it. So yeah. And then last question is, any idea which locations, regions have global pricing? I personally don't know. I think I saw a few posts on Reddit saying that Pakistan had it, but other than that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like it's not any region I'm in, so it's one of those things where like I don't know, man. Like if you've seen it, like if you are experiencing like an awesome discount based on the region you're in, post about it on Reddit and let people know. I don't know if there's like VPN exploits on taking advantage of that. I this is all beyond me. Like I don't anything more complicated than a self checkout, dude, is beyond my skill level.
Fair. But the plan is to eventually have global pricing everywhere or just in certain regions?
Global pricing feels like the wrong term for it too, right? Like to me, a global price would be one price for the whole globe, and regional pricing would be your price is determined by what region you're in. But that's just me.
But so, what do we know what the advantage would be though? Or I'm a bit confused by the whole thing.
Like it's mostly for places that are going to have like much lower overall like income levels too. Like if the gold pass is $6 everywhere in the world, then hey, like if you are like you can fly to places in the world where you're $6 and get you a hotel for the night. Like
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like charging $6.99 US in a very poor country means no one's buying it. To give those people, you price it fairly for them to be able to take advantage of it is awesome. The challenge, I assume, is making sure people don't VPN to take advantage of it and you're not losing money. I don't know how that's done or if it's possible. It's a problem for them to solve, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel like the whole VPN, I don't know how reliable it is to easily bypass that, but it feels like it's more of a technical outside of Clash scope thing.
Yeah, like I mean, I know I had to like go create Canadian App Store accounts to test old Supercell games in beta. Like when my Clash Royale account probably looks like I registered it in up in BC. I was used the Kokanee Brewery address for my Canadian accounts. Fun fact.
Nice. Yeah. Other suggestions are like using the account creation country, but I feel like people are just gonna be like, "Oh, I moved countries. That's not fair anymore," or something. So there's
it's just a lot of work, like to like have your support deal with reassigning people regions. You're like, oh yeah, like I moved to Yemen, and then like okay, like do you just have to VPN to Yemen for to establish residency for 6 months before then? It feels like a whole lot of work. So, but
no, that's fair.
Companies figured it out. I'm sure there's some standard practices out there for Supercell to learn from. It's not my problem to solve. Yeah, good luck to them. Like overall, I think it's commendable to try and make things accessible to everyone, regardless of like the cost of living of their country. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, I like that. Fair pricing.
All right, Liam, do you have any shout outs before we wrap it up and go?
Shout outs to my lovely extended family, with whom I'm spending the time in Germany at the moment, and shout outs to all the kind people in the world helping us build a better future together.
Yeah. Shout out to Liam's family. He was mostly quiet during the last hour, but not always. And
Yeah,
uh,
sorry about that.
yeah, no, it
My
happens, dude.
my
Like,
my niece was running in, like wanting to hug me goodbye. I was trying so hard not to.
yeah, I know. Like, I mean, like, dude, my kid's been on RTC more than like more than the like a couple real hosts at this point. Like my kids probably said stuff in the background more than like Frank. More episodes than Frank was in.
Damn,
Just
that's
over
crazy.
time. But yeah, I just want to say, Trample out there, man. Hey, like, thank you. He did something really cool for me recently, so I just want to again say very heartfelt thank you, deeply appreciated. You're the man, and
Thank you for all the listeners as well in
yeah,
chat. We appreciate the audience of 14 strong.
yeah, like no man, it's always cool to like see how people are reacting to us yapping in real time. It is appreciated that you guys show up. I has Parkinson's, man. I just gave that guy a skin recently. That I hope you liked. That does it. I think we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
See you, everyone. Bye.